SK Vibemaker.
Agent Sasco's in the virtual room. He's in his car whizzing around somewhere at the moment, man. He's whizzing.
Yeah, Kingston City, you know the thing. Yeah. But yeah, man. See, here we go. Technology, you know.
Straight up.
Able for go and multitask and kill two birds with one stone, you know. But give thanks for the time as usual, man. It's always a pleasure and an honor. And you know, just continue doing what you do for the culture, just the same, and you know. Bless up. Go and press the thing, you know.
Jeez, man, it's been like a year since we spoke, and it's been like a couple years since the latest album came out, Hope River.
Yeah.
How would you break down to everyone who's locked in right now what's been happening in between then and the latest project that you just put out?
COVID-19.
Aside from COVID-19, in the musical life for Agent Sasco.
Yeah, just played. I mean, so yeah, I've made a commitment. From what I call it, theory of reggaetivity, actually, that I would be doing a project every 2 years at least for for people who care about my music. And so in keeping with that, I've since released Hope River in 2018, and therefore 2020 would be when I'm due for another project, in keeping with that vibe. So we started working on what was supposed to be another album for a release this year, but then of course, with all of what's been taking place with COVID and all of that, we were kind of like waiting to see when and if we'd drop the project and blah blah blah, and then people what they wanted to release what we had in the form of an EP, and then maybe do a full project next year. So that's what's been up since I guess over the last year.
I mean, you was very direct with the message on Do Me Ting. You said you're not looking at any acceptance, and then you can't get rejected. You know what I'm saying? So that's the sentiment on the song. I mean, why did you want to put that message? Expand on that. Like, do you feel like you faced a lot of rejection? That's why you had to put that message at the forefront of the song?
Well, here we go on. It's not even a matter of facing rejection. It's understanding that none of that matters. Just do your thing. Understanding that some might love it, some might not, but just do your thing regardless, and don't seek acceptance or approval as the reason for why you're doing anything you're doing. So it's from that perspective.
And of course, as usual, very lyrical with it, man. You had the other line where you said, "Don't take gas, be your own propane." I mean, how much of a challenge has it been for Sasco to keep himself self-motivated?
Oh man, there are moments, because you're a human being and thing, and you have and when you're creative and thing, and you do your work and thing, you take it personal sometimes when you shouldn't. So it's kind of like constantly reminding yourself not to take it personal, and to always focus on the things that you can control, which is your efforts and working on your craft and things like that. But it's sometimes when I feel like, all right, certainly I've passed a certain thing, and I've done enough now to kind of definitely secure a certain I don't know, level of respect or whatever. Yeah, you come up on a moment where it's just like, nope. and then a part of it is like trying to be objective, because if you can't be objective and you can't be honest with yourself, then you might not be able to receive lessons that you should, So that's also kind of like something to always work on in terms of, all right, is this thing really how I'm looking at it, or am I being blinded by my pride or whatever, ego, anything, so those things are are challenging. However, it's good to have people around you who will tell you the truth, people you trust that will not be just fanning flames or blowing smoke or nothing like that. It's just like keeping it real and be like, yo bro, whatever. So
Now, the train spotters out there might be able to tell me something different, but when I recall, I can only remember another Sean Paul collaboration that you've had, which is on the Differ remix by Toddla T.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been many Agent Sasco, Assassin, Sean Paul collaborations over the years. Why is that, man?
Well, it's just a matter of time, but let me tell you, when I reached out to Sean with the idea to do this collab, before I finished typing what I was asking, was like, yo, ready. So like I started, yo, Sean, what's up? I have this thing I'm working on, send, and I would like before I sent that the following message was like, ready. You know, and that is a function of a couple of things. A, where you just pointed out, we never really worked on anything before, and then B, you know, a level of mutual respect, and certainly, you know, having, you know, earned that over the years. So it's just like, yo, let's go, you know. So yeah, the timing was right, and I'm happy with it.
I hope you can appreciate the backdrop. Look at that. Good to go riddim and dancehall rock riddim. Two riddims that you know very, very well.
Riddim classics, riddim classics. No, but Diwali, no Diwali that.
I got Diwali there, and I got Buzz riddim there as well. Good to go riddim up there. Dancehall rock.
Diwali gave me my
roughest and toughest
international break. Really, that's the first song that really, you know, started to move things for me.
I put them there especially for you today, Sasco.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Yeah.
Now, something that you spoke about on Represent is if a black man does it, they say it's a Jamaican or a Haitian. Talk to me about the feelings of Jamaicans getting a lot of the blame when it comes to a black person doing something that's maybe not that positive.
Well, so here's the thing, right? In the same reason of taking responsibility, you know, we have to take responsibility for that. So, you know, Jamaican, you know, we're great at a lot of things, including, you know, finding ourselves in all kinds of trouble. So we have to own that. But it's more speaking to, even though it says Jamaican in there, it's speaking to the idea of, you know, it's the idea of immigrants giving the trouble, really. You know, and also kind of in a situation where, you know, talking about, of course, the ever-present issue of racism and all of that. So it goes beyond, you know, the idea of a Jamaican and a Haitian. Those happen to be the ones that I use in the song, but it really speaks to that entire idea that, you know, it's always some immigrants giving the trouble, you know.
Now it seems that you and Chronixx have been getting in the sessions, because not only is he on the EP, the latest project, he appears on 2 tracks on the Loco riddim. So talk to me about like what's been happening between you and Chronixx, man. It seems like you lot could have made a joint collaborative album.
well, so here's the thing, right? You know, it's just a matter of energies, and we spoke about the fact that I never worked with Sean all these years and then here we are, you know, Chronixx as, you know, one of the young giants in the business, you know, just kind of, you know, finding, you know, a vibe and working together on a couple of things, and guess what? There's going to be more moving forward. I spoke to him day before yesterday, actually, about doing some production on the project that I have, you know, coming forward for like next year. So you can look out for more of that.
And let's not get it twisted, man. Chronixx does not collaborate with everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something.
Yeah, man, for real. Bless up the granddad, you know.
No stranger to danger. You spoke about getting introduced to handguns on that and murders. You know, a lot of people that you grew up with getting killed. You spoke about the rough surroundings when you was growing up, man. How easy or hard, or how much of a challenge was it for you to navigate through those challenging things, man?
No stranger to danger is pretty much acknowledging the fact that, yeah, I grew up, you know, in dangerous situations, you could say, but not being about that, like not, you know, allowing that to define my journey or destination. And hopefully, you know, other youths might recognize that if they're in a situation that sounds similar to them thing that we may talk about, you don't have to, you know, pursue it. You know what I mean? So that's what that song, you know, really talking about. Some
people might listen to that song and say that it is kind of tapping into the Afrobeats kind of sound. Do you know what I mean? You collaborated with Jules.
Listen. I'm not gonna be here trying to twist and whatever. Listen, that's what that was about. Like, you know, going with that energy and that vibe. And as we say, I represent every black man African. And this idea of us always trying to, you know, put, you know, boxing everything and this and that, yo, you know, every black man African. So guess what? I am an Afrobeats artist.
Wow, okay. Yeah, Afrobeats artist, Sasco, yeah.
Yeah, Afrobeats, reggae, hip hop, anything, any music of black people. Yeah, from your artists, me one of them artists too.
So maybe we need to see the collaborations with maybe Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage. That would be nice.
Absolutely. I mean, there is something that I'm not gonna speak too much about because it's very early. But just know, say you can look out for something along that lines. Big up my brethren Jules. You don't know, gone in the building. Just listen out. That's all I'll say. Listen out.
So talking about like genre blending and twisting and all those kind of things, what's your opinion on the trap dancehall sound?
So here's the thing, right? Reggae and dancehall was born of a generation who were inspired by something else, and that's, you know, them expression lead them to that sound, right? So trap dancehall is not just the same. These youths are, you know, getting all these influences from all about the world. Is such a small space now. Everybody can, you know, be exposed to every culture, and this is what their creativity is leading them to put forward. Listen, I am just all for the youth them expressing themselves and allowing them to find their way in the same way that reggae and dancehall was discovered. You know, maybe the man them are going to invent a new genre altogether. And, you know, who knows? No, seriously, and who knows where, you know, where we'll go. You know, reggaeton was born off dancehall, and, you know, you see why it come to. Afrobeats has taken off over the last few years in terms of internationally. Clearly, the man them did do them thing from morning, you know, them own space. So yeah, you know, we have to allow the youth them to create what they create. We're not there for, you know, telling them and how to go about them creativity. My responsibility though, with the influences that I have and when me born and all them thing there, I have to make sure that I am true to, you know, what resonate with me. So you still are gonna get me to do my original dancehall. So I mean, like, listen, Loco riddim, you know what I mean? Them kind of thing there will always be a feature of what I am bringing forward, and, you know, also reggae and thing. And then I'm free to also explore some of the new sounds, but not in a way for compete with the youth them, more in a way of just embracing what them I do. And, you know what I mean? Just going with where my creativity lead me just the same.
I want to ask you something about your son. I saw you on IG Live going back to back last night, man, with Wheezy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was too happy to do that. I'm like, hey, boy. Yeah, he was too happy to play Assassin, giving it to me. I'm like, yo, yeah, it's a joy, though, to share the music with them and, you know, for them to be a part of the process with the studio being at home and, you know, all of that. It really is something that, you know, is very dear to me, you know, to have them around that and to see them enjoy it too, you know, it's great.
Are you pushing your son in the direction of music? Would you be happy if he followed that direction?
So I had this conversation with my wife yesterday and a friend of mine, and I'm absolutely not pushing him or either of them towards it. And, you know, I had to really consciously decide to not stand in the way. If that's, you know, if that's what he wants to do or anything that they want to do, I need to support them and not put my baggage and my experience in the way, you know, because, you know, it's tough. It's tough, you know, but I guess, you know, such is life. And so, you know, I'm deciding to support them in anything that they really want to do. So if this is what he wants to do, you know, he'll have my support, but I'm not, you know, I won't be pushing him in any direction. You know, I'll allow him, I'll support him, not push him.
Straight up. The Sasco Vs Assassin EP features production from UK producers, the Fanatix and from Toddla T. How did you connect with the UK's producers like that, man? You're grabbing two producers like that on a short EP.
First of all, big up Pierre, frequent flyer crew out there. So Pierre is an integral part of the team right now, and so having those connections, you know, you get access to the people in the space, you know, the UK producers from as far as Brazil and you know all over the place. So that's primarily where that's coming from. But for me, once you send me a beat, no matter where it come from, if it's bad, where you just say, cause yeah, I don't care that is, wait, is a Toddla T beat? Let me try and like it. No. When you send me a beat, I'm like, yo, this bad, you know, where this come from? Yo, Toddla T, well, ready, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's like just send me the bangers. Yeah, and it helps when it's people who, you know, are on the same page in terms of how them feel about the music, and, you know, people who talented and great at what them do. So, you know,
straight up.
respect to Toddla T, big up Fanatix, and I can't wait for, you know, be back in the studio again, being in the UK. I mean, who knows when that will be, but, you know, we're still looking forward to it.
Now, being 20 years plus in your career, definitely being active doing music, how have you found it, like battling between yourself at this mature state, battling between being Agent Sasco and being your former rugged and raw assassin self?
No, so there is no battle personally, honestly. I think even this project was born from people missing, you know, Assassin and, you know, all of that. And let me just say that, you know, fans of Assassin need to go back and listen to Good to Go and Diwali and them kind of things, because Assassin in that form, just, you know, you won't be getting that no more. Because listen, the personas have to live within me, and based on where I'm at in my development and, you know, maturity, whatever, you just won't get Assassin. You'd have a time travel for getting in that sort of way. You know what I mean? Assassin was 17-year-old me, you know, and 17 to, let's say, I don't know, mid-20s, about 25. And so now, you know, I'm staring at 40, man, soon. You know, I'm 37 right now. And there's no fight within myself. There's no conflict. I know exactly who I am and where I'm at, and, you know, what I want to represent and how I want to represent it. So that's that. This is more, you know, for the fans, just trying to give them as much of Assassin as I possibly can.
Straight up. Now, I know that you've spoken of your dream collaboration being with Stevie Wonder. Now, if you manage to get Stevie Wonder in the studio in the next few days, what would you guys make together, man? What kind of song? What would we get out of that?
That's the thing. I have no idea, but all I know is it would just be a real dream. It would just be a real dream, and I would, I would be very interested, just like you are, to see, you know, what that would sound like. But I'm still hoping that it happens.
I want to say congratulations for putting together the Loco riddim as well. One of my favorite riddims of the year, and your piece, very special, man. Talk to me about putting together the Loco riddim and your version on the riddim, man.
All right, so some clarification. So Loco riddim is really a Teflon production. My involvement with the Loco riddim, though, is, of course, selecting it to be on a part of this project, and then after selecting it, you know, having the conversation with Teflon and with Pierre, like, yo, this could really do with some other you know, tracks. And so, you know, we decided, all right, let's make a juggling of it. And I reached out to a couple of my peers, including Elephant and, you know, Iwata, and I pretty much produced those two based on the fact that I recorded them at my studio and blah blah blah. And, you know what I mean? So I'm you know, very much in the process. I would say it's a team effort, but officially it's a Teflon production. And what was it like working on that? I mean, listen, just hearing that beat for the first time, it was just crazy. Hence the Loco, you know what I mean? And then, you know, to just travel back to that time of being in the studio and, you know, working on a juggling, you know, just kind of like putting in a line here in a song and thinking like, yo, ooh, that sound wicked on this. That just brought me back to the you know, the rhythm driven time, then when Diwali rhythm and Good to Go and all of that. So yeah, that really was a kind of a nostalgic vibe, you know, working on that. But good vibes, man, wicked rhythm. And there might be some more cuts coming, so
SK Vibemaker.